Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Lauren.
Hi, Kai.
I'm Joel.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Petey. I'm Aunt Becky.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow lots of stuff here on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Right away this morning, I'm doing something I haven't done in a while. I'm bringing you into the germination greenhouse. Now you're probably thinking, what's in the germination greenhouse that you need to show us this morning? Up near the top, we have some bell peppers that we had seeded and they're looking really good. They're ready to be moved out of here. But beyond that, what I wanted to show you was our second planting of tomatoes. We just got all of them seeded recently. So yeah, I don't know about you, but that's a big deal. We got our round tomatoes here, our plum tomatoes, and I mean, they've just been seeded, but you know, it's only a matter of time till we're picking. Right now it's 84. So that's not too bad, especially since we got hit with kind of like a cold front. The temperature last night and the upcoming 2 nights, it's getting kind of dangerously low. We aren't in freeze warning or anything like that, but the weather changes pretty quick around here. And while those temperatures drop even a little bit more, that's when I would start to get concerned. So for now, I'm okay, but it's colder than we'd like it to be. But there's not much we can do about that. We're just gonna keep working, and to get work started off today, we're gonna get the chores taken care of. Everything has now been pulled out of the cooler. We had the farm market completely cleaned up, and now all the produce is out and ready to sell. And let me just say, we've been busy, like unbelievably busy the past couple days, and it's shown through the farm market. This place has been just ran through. Well, we make our visits to the wholesaler, and then in the upcoming weeks, hopefully we'll be getting closer to harvest some of our own stuff. But for now, the farm market is all set up and ready to go. Even though we've been dealing with colder than normal nights here on the farm, it has not stopped the customers from coming out. We've been selling a lot of vegetable plants. Oh boy, it looks so different walking in this greenhouse with it all emptied out, doesn't it? I mean, it's not all emptied out, but it's getting pretty close. And it's not just emptying out in the top greenhouses, the bottom greenhouses look the same. But that's to be expected. I mean, these greenhouses get moved over to fall mums relatively shortly, so this stuff all needs to be off these tables. Right away, there's a few things that need to be done down around back. A big thing is getting the animals taken care of. And speaking of animals, it looks like all the cattle are home from pasture, which, as you guys know, is something we have not seen much of lately. Besides the animals needing to be taken care of, another big job is these greenhouses need to get watered. Look at these jumbos. Ooh, these will make some people happy. I just feel like there's so many eggs all the time. Like every day is just grading eggs. Could you imagine if you had like 10,000 chickens? What you're going through? Maybe you have machines that do it. I mean, my dad is a machine, but still, like, oh, so many eggs. Grading eggs was the last thing that needed to be done, and the animals are now all taken care of. And now that we are done with the animals, we're gonna go find Dad and see what he's doing. We found out where Dad was. He's over at the shop. He's loading up beans for the neighbor. For the past couple weeks, they've been getting beans every single day. They do a lot of planting on their farm. So they show up with their hopper truck, we get them loaded up, and they're on their way. So Dad, now that we got them loaded up with beans, what are we gonna be working on now?
Daniel's gonna be mowing hay, and we're gonna plant tomatoes.
You hear that? Tomato planting time. So earlier on today, we did have a few flats of tomatoes pulled out of the greenhouse, and now we've got the rest of the tomatoes pulled out. So all our first planting of tomatoes that we had sat here is now on the wagon. So once we get hooked up to our transplanter, we get it filled with water, we'll be putting tomatoes into the soil. Daniel is gonna do his best to get the rest of the grass hay mowed down today. Now, last time we mowed hay, it was just alfalfa and a little bit of grass. And we actually were able to get a lot of that stuff baled yesterday. I'll show you how that went. Hey everybody, I'm doing something a little bit different today. I don't normally film, but we have something cool going on. On an average day on the farm, you usually have like 100 things going on. Well, today it's like 101 things going on. It's been crazy. But I felt this was something that I just had to share with you guys. You remember from one of our previous videos, we just got done mowing down some hay. We were raking, tedding, we were putting it into rows. And well, we weren't supposed to get rain all week, but the forecast came out. We might be getting rain tonight, so that threw us into a little bit of a panic. But thankfully, all the hay dried down really, really well, and we're able to start baling. Ain't she a beauty? I know the cattle will be excited about that. Well, there's gonna be plenty more where that came from. We're hoping to have a really nice hay crop this year. Last year, our first cutting, phenomenal. The next cuttings that followed, not phenomenal by any means. Like, they were terrible. But hopefully this year, things will change and we'll have a nice hay crop. Isn't that something? There's always plenty to do on the farm. But now we're running up, we're gonna get everything hooked around so that we can start working on planting tomatoes.
Yo, Andy. You're good. I'm good? Yep, you're good. I'm not gonna hit that flashy light? No, you're good.
Go back into my trailer!
I wouldn't do that, don't you worry.
In a panic last night, we got the wrapper hooked up because we were gonna try and wrap bales before it rained, but it never rained, thankfully. We never got to it. So we'll have to worry about this another time. See, he calls it his side-by-side, but I thought he was gonna drive for me. What, not driving for me today?
Oh, I get chauffeured. Hey, can you turn the heat on?
I don't think I can.
It's pretty cold for the end of May.
What's nice about going straight from the cucurbits into the tomatoes is we don't even need to change the wheel on the back. If we didn't run the drip lines underneath and run plenty of fertilizer, we probably would want to space the tomatoes out a little bit more, but since the way we do it, we can keep it just like the cucurbits. Joel's gonna get our tanks filling up with water, and I'm gonna run down below and get hooked up to our wagon. Starting off, we have two varieties of plum that we're going to be putting into the soil. We have a variety that we've used many times called Mariana. We like that tomato. And we're trying a new variety called Shelby this year. Now, we've always used Plum Crimson, but we wanted to give Shelby a try. We've heard good things. And then for round tomatoes, we have Primo Red, Red Deuce, and Biltmore that we're going to be putting into the soil. All three really, really good varieties that we have enjoyed using, and hopefully this year they do well for us again. While I was getting everything moved around for the transplanter, Dad and Joel were down here, and they're actually adding something onto our hay wagon. Now, Joel, what is this gonna be for?
This is gonna be holding round bales. When we put a round bale on this wagon, this is the frame for a small square bale wagon. So we have to put the round bale on the flat side so it doesn't roll off. This allows us to put the round bale on the bottom, which allows us to be able to put more on this wagon without them rolling off or having to strap them.
So this is kind of what it looks like on the back. We are gonna be adding one on the front, but for now, we're gonna go and start transplanting tomatoes.
Just gotta hook up to the wagon first. Transplanter's fully loaded and heading back.
Keep coming. Keep coming. 6 inches, and you're good right there. Stop. Whoa!
Too far?
No, you're good.
All right.
Just getting it attached here. Yep.
These are my flashing lights. Nothing like another day in the office, am I right?
So to start off, we have a few cherry tomatoes, a few grape tomatoes, and some heirloom that we're gonna be putting into the soil. We're gonna have to be very careful in the start so that we don't get everything mixed up, because there is a lot and it's just little amounts, so we don't wanna get confused. You know, last time I was planting, I was with Petey and I had to be on the left-handed side, but now I have Joel, so Joel's gonna be on the left-handed side and I'm gonna be on the right side. Everything the way it should be. That feels good. Birds are singing. They're excited about planting tomatoes too. So the first varieties we loaded up were Red Deuce, which is a round tomato, and the second variety is going to be Primo Red. So we are going to be starting with sweet cherry, and then what's after that?
Grape.
Grape. So sweet cherry into grape tomatoes. To start off, because we're just doing a few smaller varieties, Joel is going to be putting the plants in, and I am going to be pushing them into the soil. A little harder to split up all these packs. So the red cherry is going in first.
Okay, pause for a sec.
We just got a few heirlooms put into the soil. We got Brandywine done, Cherokee Purple, and Mr. Stripey. We are moving on to Yellow Pear, and then we're gonna be finishing off with the Orange Cherry, and that should be it for the specialty tomatoes. We are now all finished with the specialty tomatoes. We are moving on to our round. The first variety that we are planting is Red Deuce. Let's get started. Yes, sir. And just like that, we just got our first row of tomatoes done. On to the second. It's nice when you have two people doing this job. You just work together, you can move a little faster, and this isn't too difficult. You can actually have a full-on conversation on the back of this planter. Doesn't take too much thinking to do this job. Maybe that's why I like this job so much. We just got finished off with the Red Deuce tomatoes, so we moved our Primo Reds down onto a new variety.
That's the last of the Red Deuce?
Yes, sir. When we were younger, we'd have someone driving and they'd drive off the mulch and you'd have to yell, "You're going off the mulch!" And then, oh, it'd be this whole thing.
Hey, can you do me a favor and stop stealing my holes?
I'm sorry. I get in the zone, you know how it is.
I don't know why we keep getting those 39s, 38s at night.
Just enough to scare us.
Just enough.
Hey, while you're here, don't forget to like the video and make sure you're subscribed. Whew, thanks, Joel. We just got the planter loaded up again with the last of the round tomatoes. Now, you had heard me mention earlier on, we do like to put our tomatoes a little further apart. However, because of the circumstances, we're putting them closer. Now, if you were planting at home in your garden, I would suggest a little further apart than this. It's better to have them a little further apart so that they have plenty of root space. That way you don't have to worry about them drying out. The way that these beds are made by the mulch layer really allows us to have a good crop even while having our plants closer together. We have the last of the round tomatoes here. This is Biltmore, so once these last plants are into the soil, this will be the final of the first planting of tomatoes for round tomatoes. And then after lunch, we're gonna be moving on to plum. Joel, you know what you call a cow on two legs?
Udder, wait.
Lean beef.
Oh.
Whoa! We're done, we're done! And that is the last of the round tomatoes. We got 3.5 rows done. So now we're gonna be on our way home, eat lunch, then come back for the plum. We are now here for lunch, and we are having taco salads today. I am excited.
It's Taco Thursday.
All finished with lunch, and we're on our way back out to finish planting tomatoes. Hey, check it out, nice rock. Hey, did you want to plant the Shelby or the Mariana first?
Shelby.
Alrighty. And here we have it, the last tomato. Boom! First planting is done. And Dad left us. He is on his way out. But it looks good. If we go down the rows, I see plenty of green. And that wraps up the first planting. We've got about 2 miles of tomatoes here. That's a lot of picking. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of work, but that's a lot of picking. Look at that guy over there. Professional. Now that we're all done with planting, our next job is gonna be putting the front rails on our wagon, and that'll be time to move bales around. Let's go to work. Come on, let's go.
Use this just in case.
Thank you. Let's go. Come on, let's go to work. Yeah. Can I get a high five? This is Callie's real first time being around this much equipment work at one time. So I'm just trying to keep a close watch on her. I just want her to have fun, and I want her to see what goes on while she's not around. Joel had brought down his new tractor to help us out a little bit. They've got a few more round bales here to wrap. Daniel had taken the 130 over to the next section of round bales to get everything put together. And Callie and I are gonna bring the wagon over to Daniel. So we're on our way now. Callie and I were on our way to deliver a wagon, and we picked up a hitchhiker. I don't know where this guy came from, but it doesn't matter, we'll take the help. We've moved spots from the back 40 over to the top of the hill. We are going to be wrapping the bales right there. We have a few hay fields over here, and it didn't make sense to drive everything all the way over. It would take too much time. So we're just bringing it to the top, and we're wrapping here. We are just about finished. Dad has one on the wrapper right now. Joel has one on his loader, and then we have 2, 4, 5 left. So once we get all 5 wrapped up, we will be done for the day. That guy over there on the loader, Lefty, using his new tractor, woohoo! I bet you he is over the moon. Honey, we're home. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Pork tenderloin, Parmesan garlic, orzo, rice, and green beans.
Ooh, sounds good. Well, everyone, we are now all out at the dinner table, so you guys know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video today. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.